We value community, and we value volunteerism. We believe that everyone can serve. We believe that volunteering is transformational, and we believe relationships matter. Our values and beliefs are at the core of our commitment to preparing leaders like the class of 2023 here, who will apply their skills and passions to support local nonprofits and live their personal missions. We are proud to welcome you to this evening's celebration. So it is my pleasure to get the program started by asking Nino Pesh, Senior Vice President, Business Banking Team Leader at M&T Bank, and member of the class of 2022, to come up to the podium.
Thank you. As Katie mentioned, my name is Nino Pesh. I'm the Business Banking Team Leader with M&T Bank, and also a graduate of the Leadership Westchester class of 2022. So David, if you haven't already, please start the timer. You're not going to give 3 minutes to speak. And this is significant, as many of the alumni will know. And not to give away any secrets, but the 3-minute speech is part of the culminating last class of the program. Final class that you wish wouldn't end. My joke here would be that I was part of the best class of the Leadership Westchester program. The camaraderie my class had was great, and the friendships that I had have only grown over the past year since I graduated. But it is a unique experience for every individual. I certainly remember the first class and what I was thinking during it. And I won't spoil it for those here who haven't had the opportunity to go through the program. But I can tell you by the 10th class, my opinion, openness, and outlook had changed. The Leadership Westchester program has helped me grow as a person, both personally and professionally, and through a 10-month journey that helped define the laws of leadership, diving into self-reflection and from leading from within, learning to lead through listening, how to influence and engage others, how to make an impact and serve on a board, and most importantly, the key to success is being your authentic self. I remember my mission, as most alumni do, to create, educate, and lead financial literacy and wealth creation for those in need, with an emphasis on the military community. You learn it's a journey that has brought the need of our community to the forefront of my life. And I have the privilege to stand here before you, not only as a Leadership Westchester graduate, but as a part of M&T Bank. M&T Bank is truly a community-focused organization, not only by giving, but more importantly, encouraging each employee to use 40 paid volunteer hours each year, and by helping support programs like this. M&T Bank has created a culture of community volunteerism and leadership, and values the work that the Leadership Westchester program at this incredible organization, Volunteer New York. You know, some of the best leaders in our local bank have graduated this program, so we truly do value. The impact this program had on me personally has been tremendous. It helped me become a better servant leader for not only my employees, but also for the partners within the bank and the community as a whole. So I'm proud to call myself a graduate of Leadership Westchester, and want to thank some of the people that helped get me there, such as David, Melissa, Volunteer New York, and the next person who will be speaking here today, who I have the honor to introduce, Jeanette Gisbert, Executive Director of Volunteer New York, class of 2009.
Thank you, Nino. Thank you again to M&T for their many years of support, and to all the organizations that have supported Leadership Westchester over the years. So good evening. As Nino shared, my name is Jeanette Gisbert, and I'm the proud Executive Director of Volunteer New York and a proud Leadership Westchester alum of 2009. I'm honored to be here today to celebrate the Leadership Westchester class of 2023. Volunteer New York is proud to be the engine behind Leadership Westchester. Our mission is to mobilize our community to address its greatest challenges. We believe that volunteerism and civic engagement are important strategies towards building a vibrant, resilient, and equitable community. Last year, Volunteer New York inspired over 37,000 people to volunteer. These individuals volunteered approximately 388,000 hours of service at over 300 local nonprofit organizations at a value of $13.7 million back to our community. Volunteer New York is in the business of making it easy for people to turn their good intentions into action. This is one of the reasons why Leadership Westchester lives at Volunteer New York. Leadership Westchester allows participants to gain clarity on their personal mission and then to convert that clarity into actions in support of the community. We are proud of the impact Leadership Westchester has had on our community for over 25 years. Before introducing our alum of the year, I'd like to say a few words to this year's graduates. I promise I'll be brief. I don't think I need a 3-minute timer. Last week, I had the opportunity to attend the National Conference on Volunteering and Service. Each year, this conference is organized by Points of Light, a global nonprofit making it easy for individuals to take action in their community and around the world. Points of Light was founded by President George H.W. Bush, who in his January 1989 inaugural address invoked a vision of 1,000 points of light and offered an invitation to the nation to take action through service in support of their fellow citizens and neighbors. I spent the week talking to peers, nonprofit professionals who believe in the power of people to make change, about what the world needs from us now, a world that has lived through a global pandemic. How do we ensure our light continues to shine within ourselves and within our communities? I shared with them some of the conversations that we've been having at Volunteer New York and in this community about this transition back to life pre-COVID. But increasingly, and partly through some of the conversations I had last week in Chicago, one thing is clear to me. There is no going back. We can't go back. There is no transitioning back. There is only transforming forward. And with transformation comes more uncertainty and cloudiness, unknowns, and more change. And these things are hard. But each of you has something that only 400 other individuals in our community have: the Leadership Westchester experience. You have the tools and the community to navigate what's ahead and to ensure that your individual lights will continue to shine bright and that you will be able to harness that light to make a contribution to our community and to the world. Thank you in advance for ensuring that your light will continue to shine brightly, and we look forward to seeing all that you will accomplish in support of your community. Congratulations. And speaking of someone who has a ray of light, I now have the great pleasure of introducing Neil Keller, this year's Alum of the Year. A Leadership Westchester graduate from the class of 2014, Neil has very intentionally worked to serve, collaborate, and contribute to others and the community since completing Leadership Westchester in 2014. You can read all about his many wonderful accomplishments and the organizations that he serves in the program, and I would encourage you to do so, please. But what I wanted to do was actually share 2 quotes from 2 participants in the men's group
that Neil co-founded because I think, and when I read them, they really, hit home. That they embody why Neil has been selected for this honor. So if you could indulge me just for 1 minute. The first quote starts with, Neil Keller is on a persistent quest to understand himself better. His honest, ethical interrogation of self is at the heart of his influence as a leader. That's powerful, right? It sparks inspiration in those around him and a desire to listen to what he's up to. He believes the best role models and influencers are those who look honestly at their imperfections and limits and then summon the courage to stretch into new places. Neil is disarmingly upfront and unguarded with others. I've experienced it. To him, this way of being, essentially making himself vulnerable to others, engenders trust and openness and a more fruitful work together. Neil is an ethical, curious, and deeply loving connector of people. I can think of few others who have had more influence on my ongoing development and stretch as a human being. Neil's impact is truly extraordinary. And I encourage you, as I said, to read more about his impact and his work in your program. He truly deserves this recognition. And for all that he's achieved to date, and for all that I know he will continue to accomplish in the future, on behalf of the Leadership Westchester alumni and Volunteer New York's Board of Directors, it is my pleasure to bestow the honor of Alum of the Year to Neil Keller.
Thank you.
That's good.
Yeah.
It was a hot and humid evening. It was a hot and humid evening in July of 2003. And I finished working for the day at the IBM Research Center in Yorktown Heights, New York. I drove to Ossining, where I was teaching a computer class in Sing Sing prison. Mercy College had been running a college program there for several years in conjunction with Hudson Link for Higher Education in Prison, a nonprofit. And a number of the men had completed all the requirements for the bachelor's degree, but they needed to show computer literacy to get their diplomas from Mercy College. And I used to teach computers at IBM Research, so Hudson Link recruited me to go in and do some review sessions so the men could pass a standardized written test to show that they were computer literate and receive their bachelor's degrees. During the second night of my class, I was teaching, and all of a sudden, the little guy in the back stood up. And he started telling me what he thought of my class. And that if I kept teaching the way I was teaching, nobody was going to pass, and nobody was going to get their bachelor's degrees. He went on for about a minute. The other men in the room remained silent. Then he eventually sat down, but I was really scared. I found out later he was the head of one of the largest officially sanctioned organizations of incarcerated men in Simpson. So I got home that night and I called my Hudson Link supervisor, Arlene Mohammed. Now Arlene had been incarcerated for 17 years at Bedford Hills Women's Prison and was hired by Hudson Link to administer the program in Sing Sing in conjunction with Mercy College and Department of Corrections. So, Arlene, what do I do? She said, don't worry, the men will handle it. Okay, so I go in the next night, brutally hot, crowded hallway, there's 50 guys there, waiting for the correction officer to unlock the classroom. All of a sudden, this big guy comes up to me. Are you Mr. Keller? All right, the moment of truth. I figured the little guy sent him. And whatever he's going to do to me, he's going to get another 10 years of a sentence, so he wants to get the right guy. There's a lot of pride in this. So, are you Mr. Keller? Yes. Then he reaches in his pocket. I figured, now I'm really done for, because when someone's knifed at Sing Sing, nobody saw anything. He reaches in his pocket, he takes out a letter. I still have the letter. He introduces himself, he tells me his name, and he says, I'm the president of the Mercy College student body here at Sing Sing, and on behalf of all the men, I want to apologize to you for the behavior of the brother last night. Now this shows that transformation is possible even in a place like Sing Sing. The men at Sing Sing have an expression. If you think the same, you're going to act the same, and you're going to get the same result. Okay. For the last 12 years, I've had the privilege of serving on the board of Hustling for Higher Education in Prison, and it's been an honor to serve with Brian Fisher. Now, at the time of the incident I described, Brian Fisher was the superintendent or warden of Sing Sing. He went on to be the head of New York State Corrections for all the prisons in New York State. And one day, Brian and I were talking about the process of transformation. And Brian said, Neil, it's not really about the classes. He says the men have to see themselves differently. They have to see themselves not as felons, but as students. Now, transformation is possible if there are resources and there's the will to change. Now, Leadership Westchester is about transformation, as Jeanette was just describing. All of us who've gone through the program remember with some terror the first few sessions when David had us look in the mirror and examine our values and beliefs. Very painful process, very painful. But for me, that was transformational, as I believe it has been for all of the folks who've gone through the program. Since I graduated in 2014, David has also been available to help me as I've struggled with applying his lessons of focusing on communications patterns, roles, and responsibilities in negotiating with different nonprofits that I was seeking to volunteer with. There was a wonderful panel that Valerie moderated for Leadership Westchester in Bronxville in April. And it was, there were 4 Leadership Westchester alumni who were very vulnerable in what they shared. The takeaway for me really was that we can take our brokenness and we can harness that to provide the energy, passion, direction for making a difference in the world. Now, I'm a trauma survivor from childhood. At the age of 75, I went through trauma therapy. I've also, in addition to my learning from Leadership Westchester, continued my personal development by studying Jewish Musar ethical practices for a number of years and Buddhist practices more recently. I want to thank Jeanette and Valentin New York for this wonderful honor. Thank my wife Susan for putting up with all of my volunteer adventures. And I want to wish congratulations to the Leadership Westchester class of 23. And as Brian Fisher used to say, at the Sing Sing graduations, you've been given a gift. You have to pay it forward. And I expect great things from you. Thank you.
Wonderful. And now it's my pleasure to invite up this year's class representatives, Patrick Bardsley and Jessica Richardson. though, that this is the first time in recent memory that there has been a tie for class representatives. So congratulations, maybe this year you are a little special. Welcome Patrick and Jessica.
Just because we made everybody cry in a few minutes. Good evening to the class of 2023, family, friends, and all the alumni here tonight. It's really a privilege for both Patrick and I to be chosen by our classmates to be able to give you this speech tonight. This group is a collective of 20 outstanding individuals, and I don't just say that because I'm one of them, who all came together in a pursuit of different things. Everyone entered this group for their own reasons, but we all ended with one amazing gift: change. Over the last 9 months, each of us have had our own journey. We've unwrapped this gift, now more aware of our unique talents and values to be used to inspire others. For some of us, we learned to judge and treat.
We learned that heartfelt self-awareness is where it begins. We explored how we want to show up as leaders. And we're given the tools to be our best selves, one day at a time.
For others, we embraced the struggle to find our authentic selves. Our time together, more than anything, was a unique opportunity to learn from each other. For me specifically, I came into this experience at a difficult time in my life. I wasn't excited on the first day. I actually sat in my car until the absolute last second that I had to go in, and I really only socialized with others when they first talked to me. I was uncomfortable with the unknown, but could only imagine what this could be. Sitting in a room with 20 other strangers, taking turns reading hypothetical office conflicts while a guy in a suit, and he never wore a suit, but he always looked very nice, how a leader would resolve that conflict. Within the first 30 minutes of our first session, my assumptions and my life completely changed, as I think it did for everybody who's been through this program. This group didn't make me a leader, it made me a better person. It taught me how to listen, how to communicate, it taught me how to fight, and what it meant to truly be vulnerable. This group didn't make me into a leader, it made me into a better person who could lead.
Similar to Jess, I started this course, and weeks before the class began, my family life was turned upside down. My 1-year-old daughter was rushed to hospital with a serious medical diagnosis for which there is no cure. And on the first day of class, in a room full of strangers, we were asked, "What's breaking your heart?" What an icebreaker. What's breaking your heart right now? And you weren't allowed to say world hunger or terrorism or things like that. So in that moment, I decided that the best thing I could do was step outside of my programming, my 35 years of hardwired synapses that said, boys don't cry, stiff upper lip, keep calm and carry on, and take off my mask and speak the truth of what was going on in my life at the time. And then I listened intensely to every single word as everyone else in the group went around and shared what was breaking their hearts. And then I looked around at this mosaic of a room where people from all different backgrounds and walks of life, and realized that the things we had in common far, far, far outweighed the things that made us different. Job title, background, education, social status, none of that really mattered. And that was probably the first and most important, valuable lesson of Leadership Westchester on day one. Leadership is not about position or title. It's an action, an example, it's behavior. It's how you influence those that you don't even know are watching. I'd like to say a special thank you on behalf of our entire class to volunteer in New York, to Leadership Westchester, and the alumni who showed up for us tonight. We won't forget it, and we'll be back next year. Special thanks, of course, to David and Melissa, who sadly isn't here, who work tirelessly. They really do work tirelessly to make sure the class runs smoothly. They make themselves available at the end of a phone or an email, and they make that commitment beyond the course. And they subscribe to the mission, and this is really what I've realized, is that David and Melissa subscribe to the mission that leaders don't create followers, leaders just create more leaders. And I hope we can take that with us. I have a sneaking feeling that this group's going to do you guys proud.
I want to thank everyone in this group. I want to thank everyone who made this possible, and mostly to the amazing people in my life who gave me the space, support, and encouragement I needed to be present every day to experience this amazing gift in my life. And to make another minute joke, although there is 2 of us and we were granted 4 minutes, risk of going over that 4 minutes and not to get a standing ovation for ourselves. If everybody in the crowd could stand and acknowledge this amazing group, the class of 2023.
Congratulations to the class of 2023. I have a few final words for you. It was a year ago that you were filling out your applications for this class. Did you think that this is where you would be a year later? Did you anticipate that you'd understand leadership in the way that you understand it today? Did you have any thought that you'd feel as you do about your classmates who shared this adventure with you? You spent the past year answering very important questions, ones we don't usually take time to examine in our lives. Who are you? Where are you going? Why are you going there? And how do you intend to get there? Now you walk away with a clearer sense of your values, your beliefs, skills to relate effectively with others, and a clarity of purposeful contribution to the world. These will be at the center of what makes a successful and fulfilling life for you going forward. Yes, I love you, chew that. Remember the Howard Thurman quote. Don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what wakes you up and then go do that. Because what the world needs is people who have woken up. You've done the work to wake up, to live with clarity of purpose instead of leading yourself by flying by the seat of your pants. You know that simply taking life as it comes subjects us to the whims of circumstance, while leading from a commitment to clear, focused contribution puts us in control of what we want to create and how we can do so. It won't be easy. Life will crowd in around you after today. We won't have our regular sessions to pull us back to examine these kinds of important things, though we'll have others. The many obligations of work, family, and other activities will create distractions and claims on your time and attention. You'll need to work at it, to remind yourself not to allow the urgent to overrule the important in your life. Like creating time and space for eating, growing, exercising, and other things, you'll need to make time in your calendar. Instead of going with it, I'll get to it when I get a chance approach. In fact, I'm going to hold each of you accountable for regularly leading yourselves and others from the empowering personal context you've created this year. I want to hold you up to the commitment of living your lives as if you were at stake for creating something valuable and beautiful in the world around you, and continuing to do this work in your own unique way, day after day. As Oprah Winfrey said, there is nothing greater you can give or receive than to honor your calling. It's why you were born. Hearing how all of you intend to lead after the program is nothing less than inspiring. As I've listened to you talk about it, I'm sure you feel the same way in hearing your classmates talk about what's next for them. Let me close by sharing a quote from Rosemary Burns. She was in the class of 2019, and she was honored as the Alum of the Year in 2021, every bit as thoughtful as Neil is. In thinking about what I wanted to say to you tonight, I remembered that there was something she said in her speech 2 years ago that had impressed me. So I went back and looked at her speech, and she urged people to think about and treat their mission like this after Leadership Westchester. She said, "And now you move forward, ready to serve, ready to lead. You planted a seed and cultivated it over the course of your Leadership Westchester journey. Now I encourage you to be patient. That seed will sprout and grow with and without your awareness. Tend to it with enabling beliefs. Water it with hope. Weed out limitations. And help care for other seedlings growing near yours. And in time, you will, along with those you serve and lead, benefit from the towering strength and shelter that comes from a vibrant forest." I love the image of your 20 missions growing into a great forest of impact. Melissa and I are here and ready to support you, and I know your classmates are too. Look after those classmates as we all strive to show up as leaders in our lives and the lives of others. Good luck, and see you all soon. Now it's time to present the certificates. I'll read your names one by one. Please come up to the stage, receive your certificate, take a quick photo, and then head back to your seat. As some of you know, we have a tradition of having past alums present the certificates to the graduates. So I'll invite up Henry Chapman, class of 1997, to present the first 4 certificates. Rosie Akampora. If you want a dose of sunshine in your day, there's only one person to call, and that's Rosie. Thank you for bringing the sunshine.
Come on, Henry.
Carlos Andrade. Carlos doesn't say very much, but when you hear him open his mouth, you know that he's been thinking and observing and putting together everything that he hears. It's a real strength. Congratulations. Anthony Bailey. If you've met Anthony, you know he knows where he's going and how he intends to get there, but he's always open to new information to help kind of hone and improve his plans. Congratulations.
Give it up for David.
Patrick Bardsley. CEO of an already successful business, an exemplary business that's been on national TV for many, many different reasons. And yet he's, you could forgive him for being arrogant and thinking that he's the shit, to put it in. But you know what? There's a tremendous humility and a willingness to be a sponge. I'm just thrilled by the way that he's taken in everything we talked about this year. Congratulations. Now I'd like to invite up Tara Fabiano, class of 2018. Now the next person in the class unfortunately couldn't be with us tonight, Joan Feinstein. When I think of Joan, all the people in the class and anyone else here who knows her, you might think the same way that I do, that she reminds me of the book by Shel Silverstein, The Giving Tree. You know The Giving Tree? It's a story about a tree that just keeps giving and giving and giving. That's all right. The Giving Tree is about a tree that just keeps giving to this individual over and over and over again. And that's what I see Joan do. I've seen her do it throughout the year, and I'm getting to know her throughout her history. She's just a person who just keeps giving. So congratulations, Joan. Now Chloe is not here, right? Last I heard, Chloe was on her way. Is Chloe in the room? No. All right. Well, Chloe Fernandez, I'm sorry she couldn't make it tonight. Chloe has an interesting balance in my mind, and a valuable one, of like deliberativeness and also contemplation. Like she kind of thinks carefully, but then she knows where she wants to go, right? And for a younger person, it's like she's pretty clear about where she wants to go and why. And so she impressed me, and I'm sure everybody else in the class over the years. Congratulations. Next, Karina Gaddis. Karina's the person who always offers a smile and a listening ear. She's the person you want to vent to when you need that human connection.
So true.
Christian Usky. Chris showed this year that he's able to maximize the present while honoring the past. And he's moving himself forward towards ever greater success and connection. Congratulations. Now I'd like to invite up Josh Gaccioni, class of 2020, to present the next year's pageant. Patty Jewell is next. Patty, without a shadow of a doubt, showed that she's willing to grow, do the work that she needs to do to grow as a person. She's truly embodied our mantra to learn how to lead from the inside out. Congratulations. Nicole Lawrence. Nicole is especially clear-eyed, in my mind. And it's great to see her when she acts from a confidence in herself and all the possibilities around her. It's been really great to have her in class. Thank you. Marlene McClarty. Marlene is bright, thoughtful, but overall, what stands out for me the most is that she always seems to be balanced and calm, and she always has the capacity to be there for someone else. Congratulations. Brent J. Lingham, class of 2021, to come up to present the next three. Margarita Pinero. There are a number of people for which the word courageous would apply in this year's class. Certainly that's true for Margarita. She set big ambitions for herself for the coming year, and I'm proud of her. Congratulations. Dylan Pine. Dylan takes the world seriously, but not so seriously that he can't make it enjoyable along the way, and it's a really good thing that he balances it that way. Thanks for your frequent smile and input. Congratulations. Ali Restiano. Allie's grown significantly this year, and I am certain that her most enjoyable and impactful years are right ahead of her now. Keep going, Allie. May I invite Julieta McPherson, class of 2021, up to present, please. Jess Richardson. Jess has also grown herself a lot this year and has especially benefited from a part of the program which we call Challenging Your Own Beliefs. Keep it up, Jess. You're doing a great job. Jonathan Rosen. You can't get to know Jonathan without sincerely appreciating and being thankful for him being in your life. There's something about the way that he makes connections with people that makes everybody thankful. Thank you. Katrina Shivers. When I think of Katrina, what comes to mind for me is Atlas, that rare person who's able to hold up the whole world on her shoulders and everyone around her and do it with a smile. Congratulations. Finally, may I invite Michelle Bertillo, class of 2020, up to join me. Araceli Soriano. One of Araceli's greatest strengths is her ability to consistently move beyond her comfort zone. It's a rare strength and an inspiration to everyone around you. Keep going. Stephanie Koch. Stephanie can be both strategic and courageous at the same time. She can see the path ahead, but she doesn't let barriers get in the way of moving herself forward. Keep it up. Michael Zaro. Michael has shown a powerful ability to empower himself and those around him in situations that he faces. Like Allie, I believe that there are some possibilities and opportunities just waiting for him to put his stamp on it right in front of him right now. Congratulations. Final, just a round of applause for all of the graduates. Now I'd like to invite the leaders of the Leadership Westchester Alumni Association to join me up on stage, please. Jonathan, yep, Trina, Alpina still here? Okay, yep, got it, thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Okay, we just heard all this graduation. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. All right now, yes. Good evening and congratulations. Congratulations. You did it. 9 lovely, beautiful, inspiring months. And you're wondering if it's over. It's not. It's the beginning. It's the continuation. It's you. And we are all here to talk about how you can do that. My name is Michelle A. Nicholas, and I'm of the class of 2018. And I also serve as the co-chair along with David Severance for the Alumni Association. What is the Alumni Association? It's this community right here. The community that we're seeing in the class of 2023, also the community that has been for the last 27 years. Let me say that again, 27 years. Over 400 graduates. Leadership Westchester is a big community. And what do you do when you have community? You think about how your impact, your service can go beyond yourself, how you can build it within your inner circles and then move throughout Westchester County. And that is why we have our LWAA, Leadership Westchester Alumni Association, ready and willing to do that work. Our association has been running for some time, and over the last year, we have had 3 amazing members who've taken the lead, who've been doing great work, And we would just like to recognize those 3 leaders right now. I believe 2 are still in the room, 1 is not here with us. So if we can have Tara Papiano stand for us, please. And if we can have Wendy Weinstein stand for us, please. Thank you both for your service. Wendy was the team lead for our membership and engagement, and Tara, team lead for events. Those events that you attended, they did the work. But as we continue the journey, and as I said earlier, you're thinking about where those 9 months, what's the next step? It's getting involved. Because leadership is a journey. It is not a stop. It is a journey. And so continuing your journey means that you could be doing that work as a member of the Leadership Westchester Alumni Association. We have our amazing leaders for 2023, 2024. And because we believe that we can carry it together, we practice co-chairing. And so, for our membership, I have my paper here, thank you, Jeanette. For our membership and engagement team, we have the fabulous Jonathan Wilson. And we have Nehemia Grant, but she's not here with us at the moment. For our community team, we happen to have the amazing Althema Dixon. And we have Marion Hansen, but Marion is not here with us at the moment. For our events team, we have the amazing Katrina. And Rob Calori, he is not here with us at this time. We wanted to share with you that when you think about how you can further your opportunity as a Leadership Westchester alumni, whether you are graduating today or you have graduated already, think about how you can contribute as a part of the membership and engagement team. Your talents can be valued in this group. Think about how you can contribute to events and how you can emphasize the beauty of events like these. And when you think about your impact in community, Althema and Marion are ready for you. So please, give it some thought, think it through, and know that when we do it alone, we do it. But when we do it together and as a community, we are doing it. Leadership Westchester Alumni Association needs you, needs all of you. So we will see you soon. Side note, the retreat is June 27th, so we need you today. There's going to be information outside. If you don't have a sheet, it's outside. And please speak with any of us about the opportunities of the Leadership Westchester Alumni Association. Thank you so much for your time.
As we like to say at the end of our Volunteer Spirit Awards, some of you may have attended it, we always end with, and that's a wrap. Congratulations again to the class of 2023.